Hey guys, welcome back to the channel and thanks for clicking on the video. For those of you who keep up with my channel for my hiking and outdoor activities, you'll probably be glad to know I'm out on an overnighter here in Mallorca. So I'm just currently leaving Caimari. Did this trek a couple of years ago on my birthday. Haven't been out for a long time and I just thought, it's Friday, let's get out there into the mountains, as I kind of forgot what it was about. I haven't been out for so long, so I'm going to head up now to the first point of call will be the monastery at Niak. It's a beautiful day here in Mallorca. If you've been keeping up with the news, it's the end of January and we've got temperatures sort of in the mid-20s. However, it was down to 5 degrees at my house this morning, so it is very cold on the morning, still at night. So I'll probably be expecting temperatures down to maybe 0 tonight on the top of the mountains. So I've got all my winter gear, but right now you just don't need it. So let's carry on up the trail and see how we get on. I've got the little bull with me on this trip. First time I've had him out. So a little bit of company anyway. So I'm just coming up to the part now where you break off from the road. And here's a sign. Niak 2 hours 10 minutes. So it's about 1 kilometre up the road and then you break off onto this typical dry stone path here. You're not going to believe this. I am going to have to get this top off already. It's so warm today. I wasn't anticipating this for 1 minute, but I can just feel once I start going uphill, I'm going to start cooking. So I better get this off now. There we go. Get sorted out. It's always best to ditch now at this stage rather than head up the hill and have it get it off halfway up. Nice view as you just head up this valley on the route to Niak. Well, it was the right decision to get out today. I was a little bit on the fence this morning. Should I go? Should I not go? And then I said, let's go, because we haven't been for so long. And I'm very happy I've come now. You forget how beautiful it is out here in the Mallorcan countryside, to be honest, and what freedom it gives you just getting out of the office and going on the trail, whether it be for the day or as I'm doing for an overnighter. So yep, very happy I'm out here in the sunshine, enjoying a bit of fresh air. Fantastic. One thing I do want to check is my fitness level. I am by no means anywhere near fighting weight at the minute since I got back off holiday, but I'm on the way, don't worry. I'm trying. It's not easy though, but I have been doing the La Victoria in Alcudia twice a week since I got back from holiday, and that is certainly a trek which is good for your lower legs, your thighs, your glutes, and just general fitness. It takes about 45 minutes to get to the top, then back down again, an hour and a half, but you're out in the fresh air, you're not in some stinky gym, and you get back feeling good. So, didn't do it yesterday, as I obviously had in mind I'll be doing this today, which is going to be 10 times more than doing my usual trek up the La Victoria. Onwards and upwards. So as you carry on up the path, you end up on this sort of gradual incline stone staircase, really. And this continues up a bit until you get to the road. You can see from this section of the trail, it's a beautiful day, but rest assured it's going to drop tonight. So we are just arriving now up the trail at this beautiful Mallorcan built finca on the mountainside. Absolutely lovely. There's never anybody here when I come past though. So I'm actually deviating from the route I thought I was actually going to take. I don't know where it went, but this is an alternative route which I've done with my daughter before, coming down the mountain, and it's very nice as well. So I'm looking forward to it. Yeah, there's like a picnic area down there you can come to on a Sunday if you want. And here's one of the Guardia Civil bikes coming up the mountainside. There he goes, there's a cycle race on. And basically you just deviate here off over up this stile and up this path here. That little deviation that I took off the track I was intending to do is basically just missed the section out where you walk along the road and join this path that I'm on now. And this is actually one of the last stretches as you walk up to Niak, where the filling station is. And it's actually a beautiful little track here. I feel so happy to be coming back up here again. That's the view going up the path. Typical dry stone Mallorcan path, GR221 territory. And we've got the view looking right down the valley there, over towards Inca, I think. And this is where the view really opens out as you come up the top of this track here. Absolutely beautiful, looking down onto the central area of Mallorca there. Well, I'm just coming up to one of the viewpoints here, and I'm gonna have 5 minutes here because lots of times I do these trails and I look back and go, I didn't really take it in. Well, just arriving at the garage at Niak and bang on time. That's took me about 2 hours, not too bad. Feel quite positive health-wise. It's an uphill all the way, and just stopped a couple of times. Have a look at the view and have a drink of water, that sort of thing. But in general, ploughed straight up. Yep, a little bit hot, but not out of breath or anything. So yeah, feeling really good up to now. Well, just leaving the garage at Niak. Got myself a 1.5 litre of water. I'll fill the other 0.5 up down in the campsite area, so that'll be 2 litres. I've treated myself to a can of Heineken for tonight. I mean, it's lovely having a cup of tea, but when you get to the top and you're all set up and the sun's going down, you really need a can of Heineken as well. So that'll do me, but I am really looking forward to the Frito Mallorquin. I've been thinking about having some Frito since I got back from Costa Rica, and I haven't found it. I don't know what's going on this island. It's a traditional dish and it's getting so hard to find. So fingers crossed. If they'd had Frito there, do you know what it is? I would have just walked straight along here and gone along the road to the cut up where you go up the mountains. In fact, you know what it is? Again, I've just said that twice. I'm going to see if this restaurant's got Frito. If it has, I'll stop here and have one. And then I'll just walk back up here, scoot round the road. It's about 2 kilometres or so, and then straight up the top. Here we are, we've arrived, and I think we've hit the jackpot. Frito Mallorquin. There we go, on the top. Desastre.
He's full.
Desastre.
Desastre. He's full.
Busca Frito Mallorquin.
No.
Desastre.
Todo vendido.
See? Can't believe it. Now I'm going to have to walk down to Niak. A little bit of a different route, which actually I like. I like it when I go somewhere I haven't been before. Just walk through the refuge Sonoma, which is just outside of Niak. It's one of the refuges you can stay on when you're on the GR221. And Now, just on this nice forest path, heading over to Niak. Keep my fingers crossed that we're going to get a bit of Fritto Mallorquin at last. Let's see what happens. Obviously some sporting event going on here. We are just arriving at the restaurant and, well, if we've got no Fritto, there's going to be trouble and look like a bloody accident. Just arrived, hit the jackpot, we've got Fritto. So let's wait till it comes. One thing you can't beat is the canya, the few olives and the Mallorcan bread. So I'm just waiting for the Fritto. Absolutely lovely. Doesn't get any better than this. So here we have the Fritto Mallorquin. It's absolutely lovely. But it's a bit like haggis. If you knew what was in it, you might not eat it. That is good. Not too greasy. Nice flavour. I have missed my Fritto. Well, I've got a big climb ahead, so I thought I'd push the boat out and have a bit of pudding, which is a bit like cream caramel with a bit of bread or croissant mixed into it. Very nice. Just leaving the restaurant at Niak. Lovely bit of lunch. Maybe I overdid it on the pudding, but anyway, very nice. So it's quite busy up here today with obviously whatever events going on. So we just now walk up through the car park onto the trail and head up the mountains. So we're just at the trailhead leaving Niak now, and as you can see on this sign, it's 2 hours 2 minutes to Casa de Gallio, which I think is the ice house at the top. 4 hours to Font de Prat, which is, it's longer than 4 hours. I've done it, I'm sure. So just arrived at the road. That was a canny little climb out of Niak, that I'll tell you. On GR221 sides there. Tossals, 4 hours 56. From Prat, 3 hours 45. And I think Casa de Gallio is the ice house. Here's the map of where we are. Presumably the red circle there. And then we head up through the forest up to the top. Even the bulls got sweat on. That's how hot it was coming up out of there. Just coming up now to the gate which separates these two fincas. And the sun has now just dropped over the top of that ridge there. So the temperature plummets quite quickly once the sun goes down over the top of the mountain there. So you can really feel the difference. This is hard work. I know what you're saying. I know I shouldn't have had that pudding, I know. But I've missed my Mallorcan cuisine since I've been on holiday. And when the waiter, who remembered me, said he had pudding, I'll let my guard down a little bit and had the pudding, but I shouldn't have had it, I know. But that's the way it is. Wow. Look at that view, looking down over Niak, which is actually down there somewhere. Right across the bay. Amazing. We're out of the forest. Clear the top of the stone path. And we're on this top ridge, just heading towards the little path that goes to the ice house. Sun's gone over that rise over there. Just coming back into it a little bit now. Oh, that's nice. That is nice. Wow, have a look at that behind me there. Whoa. Need my sunglasses back on here. Look at this. I've had to stick the camera on. I've come up to this ridge I've never been to before. And look at that. Absolutely breathtaking. Up here we've got the Massinella and the sun just dropping down behind it. So there we go, I've made it to the top of here. I've never been up here before. There's a little cairn of rocks at the top here behind me. And just having a little pan round, you can see how high I am. Whoop. Careful I don't go over the edge. Yep. This is high. Absolutely amazing. I was really hoping there would be somewhere to camp up here tonight, but there isn't. It's just rough rock everywhere and lumps of grass. So I think I'm gonna have to go back down the next valley, either back to my usual spot, or I can go over the top of the Massinella at the back there. I know there's a couple of places there I could camp. So let's not hang around because we've got limited daylight. Back on the trail, as there was nowhere to camp on that peak back there. So I've got two choices. I either can go to the Old Faithful spot where it's nice and flat and nice and secluded, no problems, or I make it up to that little ridge there. Now, that little ridge, there's a bit of grass up there where you go over the back of there and then you drop down the back of the Massinella Valley. That will be the second choice, but I'm going to see how I feel. I've got to go all the way down this valley here and back up that valley. So I've got to see how I feel when I get up there to the top, whether it's going to be the Old Faithful or press on up there. Look at this, where I've just found a font right in the middle of the Tramontanas. I could actually hear it from the other side of the valley. I didn't realise it wasn't that far off trail, but it's not. It must be coming out just up there somewhere. A little refreshment there, absolutely lovely. I like a bit of mountain water. It's really cold and it just tastes nice. It can't get any fresher than straight out of the mountain. So I ended up pressing on, going past my usual little safe place, up to the ridge where you go over the top of the back of the Massinella. I was convinced there was like a piece of grass up there, and I got there and there wasn't. So I've just come down here and had a little walk about, and I have found a nice green patch here, which has got no stones. It's just moss. It's a bit soggy, but I've got the ground sheet. So I think this is going to have to be it for the night, like, because it's just getting dark now and I'm going to be stuffed if I keep going on. So let's get the tent set up. This here is actually a good little pitch, so I'm going to crack on and get it up. I've got the Z-Pax ground sheet with me, so that's Dyneema. We'll just keep the bottom of the tent dry. Stick a couple of stones on it so it don't move. There we go. Whoop. I do not believe it. I've only got one tent pole. This is obviously a serious problem because when I packed the stuff up this morning, the tent pole sack normally has two poles in it and the cross pole for the rainbow, and it doesn't. Shit, what am I going to do? I'm going to have to see if I can put the one pole in it and somehow peg the thing out. That's all I can do. Well, there's a tent set up. I can't believe how stupid I've been not to check the pole bag. But I'm not going to spoil the night. Look, I've got one pole in and I've just put the other guy lines out, so it should be fine. No problems, no panic. So that there is the moon, which I think it's a full moon or near enough tonight, coming up over the sea. Good morning. Not a bad night in the one pole Niak, actually. I'm just still waiting for the sun to come up. Just checked the thermometer there, it's 9 degrees. But last night I actually went to bed with my pants on and my jumper. I was cooking. It was about 13 last night. So I ended up taking everything off. Otherwise I wouldn't have been able to get to sleep. But it's 9 now. And there's a bit of a breeze coming in here through the tent. So it's Saturday. I'm just gonna lie here for a little bit and see about the sun coming up. Then I'm gonna stick a kettle on. There's the sun just coming up over that ridge. Might just go and have to have a look. There we have it. That's looking down onto Alcudia Bay there. Palenza Bay. Over to the left. Actually missed the sun coming up over the mountains, but never mind. It's still a beautiful view. You can see down there all the wetlands of Salbufera. It's very still up here, a little bit of a breeze, but there's been virtually nothing all night. And over there, the spot where I ended up last night, luckily to just find that little bit of mossy ground. Otherwise, I think I would have been stuffed, as it's just so rocky everywhere. And that's the absolute disaster of the one pole Niak. I mean, can you ever imagine going camping and forgetting to take one of the poles? It's just ridiculous. I know what happened. It was when I had the rainbow out just to dry it off and check it just before Christmas. I obviously just put both the poles back in the gearbox and not in the pole bag. But these things happen. Anyway, I still enjoyed it. So, what I think I'm going to do is, still got one of Vanessa's cereal bars there. I think I'll do myself a cup of Rosie Lee, have the cereal bar, and get packed up. And then I was thinking to head over the top of the Massanella down to Font des Prat, where I will probably have another cup of tea and have my breakfast. I've got some Expedition Foods. Hang on a second, what's going on here? Ugh. Don't see I've picked the only gas canister that's got a dodgy thread on it. There we go, just a bit stiff. I was like, what else is going to go wrong here today? Yeah, so I think I'll go to Font des Prat, where there's a water source, and bit of sun coming. Have my Expedition Foods breakfast down there. That's about an hour and a bit away, something like that. So I think that's probably the best idea. And I want to try and reduce a bit of weight here, so I'll just use up all the water I got from Uke from the tap rather than my good water. There we go. Cougar, sun, tent, mountain. Doesn't get any better. And a bit of fresh milk in my little Nalgene. And to top it all off, we can't get English tea bags in Mallorca anymore for some reason. But I have one Tetley in my little bag there. One Tetley tea bag left. Great. Right. I'm going to start getting packed up. Wait for the tea to brew. I'll come back to you. Well, that's a tea brewed. 2 takes as it overboiled. Don't know what the air's like, but it's all over the shop, is it? It's hard to see from here in that camera. So, there we go. Bit of leche in there. And Vanessa's homemade cereal bar, which it's very small, but it's packed full of goodness. It's just a beautiful morning up here. I could probably just sit up here for a few hours and just look at the view, but I'll have to get moving over the other side. Do you know, as we walk back over to the one pole Niak here, it's actually quite stealthy amongst all this green shrubbery. Look at that. Look at how muddy this area is for the tent. Look at all that. Thinking I might as well just get that scraped off there. Otherwise, I'm just carrying a load of wet mud. Look at it. And as we'll probably see here in a minute, if you just use a little ground sheet like this DCF one, you actually end up getting minimal dirt on the bottom of your tent. Which, to be honest, I don't normally take it on a through hike. I wouldn't through hike with this tent anyway. It's far too heavy. But just to keep the bottom a little bit tidy, there's a bit of mud on it there where it was overlapping a little bit. But for the sake of 100 grams in weight, it is 100% worthwhile bringing. So there we go. Leave no trace. Nothing. Angus is ready for the off. He's got his little legs out this morning. So actually, from where the trail is here to where I was camping, if anybody was walking past, you'd never see you, because it's actually over the top of that ridge down in that little valley there. So this is also a place where I believe people have obviously slept before, but to be honest, I don't want to sleep down there with all them cracks in that rock. That lets go. Elvis is leaving the building. And look at the view there over the back of the Massinella. Absolutely stunning mountain range. And over to my left, once again, another view looking down onto Alcudia Bay, the Port Plenza Bay over to the left, and the La Victoria headland there, which you can see also going out towards the sea, towards the left hand side as well. It's not often I set off and I say it's warm enough. I've just had to stop over that ridge, put my hoodie back on, because there's a right old nip in the air over here. So it is all downhill, but I reckon it's about 10 or 12 degrees over this side because there's no sun. It's in the shade, and it will be in the shade all the way down to Font dels Prats as well. just heading down the valley, and it is so nice to be 2.5 kilos less in liquid weight this morning. Obviously I drank the Heineken last night, had a very large cup of tea this morning, and the remainder of the water, which was a 1.5, I tipped out, and I've kept about half a litre, which will be enough to get me down to Font des Prat, where I'm going to have breakfast and another cup of tea. And this is typically the terrain to go down. You can probably see over here that gully there is being carved out by water in the past, and obviously people have gone this way to avoid it. Here's one of the typical examples of erosion from water running down this track. Just past a guy there going up. Must have been in his 70s, I would say. A couple of sticks and a little backpack on. And do you know what it is? These are the people who live till they're 90, 100 years old, just doing this slow cardio once or twice a week. There's nothing better. Here we go. There is a water source here, but not sure I'd want to filter anything out of there. Like, if you're ever thinking about doing this GR221, this route down from the top of the Massanella going towards Font des Prat, it's endless. When I think I passed that 75-year-old guy with the sticks, must be about 40 minutes ago. So he's well on his way up there now. It just makes me wonder, where did he set off from and at what time? Because to be up there at that hour, you've got to start pretty early. I think, hopefully, I might be nearing Font des Prat now, actually. Oh no, there's a long way down there. But I don't think I'm too far away, so we'll be getting that kettle on shortly. We are just arriving now at Font des Prat. Looks like there's been a bit of activity of people coming here to spend the night by the looks of things. It's hard to see, but there will be water in there. There is actually a manhole here underneath all this stuff, and you can hear the water running. Agua! You just can't beat this fresh mountain water. But I think I'm going to do the breakfast first and then the tea afterwards. Cannot believe this. The piezo igniter on the cooker is not lighting because I think it's when the tea boiled over at the top of the mountain. It must be a bit damp. Oh, it did relight up there as well, but it must have some tea or dampness in it. So I've waited and nobody's come past, so I've decided to do the hot cereal with mango cold, use the rest of my milk up, so I shall have that. And then make sure I remember my emergency lighter for the cooker next time, because it's not the first time the tea has boiled over and rendered the piezo ignition useless. That was actually alright. Hot cereal with mango is actually alright cold with fresh milk. Good. I feel rejuvenated now. I'll have a drink of water and I'm going to press on down to Alaro. It is actually a beautiful walk along this route towards Tossalsverd on a morning. It's got this nice track here, usual bit stony, but as you get out into these clearings, there's some really nice views down there across the island. Little view just looking down the valley onto Tossal's refuge there. So I've just left Tossalsverd's refuge, filled up on a bit of water there, but I've just been informed by Vanessa I'm supposed to be back for lunch at 1:30, and it said Tossal's refuge to Alaro is 3.5 hours. So I think it's gone 12 now, so I'm not sure how I'm gonna get that one to work out like. Just at the sign now, Alaro, Castelrello, 3.5 hours, and it's 12:30. So a little bit of good news, I'm back in comms. Just managed to get in touch with my Lara, and looks like this track here brings me down onto the road to Orient, which effectively runs around the back of Castel d'Alaro. I never imagined how far it would be from Tossal's refuge to Alaro, to be honest. I thought it was a lot closer. This is the most disastrous overnight camp I've ever done here, to be honest. I was before on the verge of no phone signal, no connectivity to the Garmin. Garmin was flat and the phone's running out. But anyway, I sort of imagined once I got over that little rise there, I was going to get back into signal. Managed to have a look, see where I am. Sent Laura a GPS coordinates. I'm 20 minutes from that point now. Hopefully they're going to pull up, get in the car, head home for lunch. Happy days. So I've just come down the road to the rendezvous point. I didn't see any signs for turning off to Alaro anywhere, and I come here, private property. So I've had to jump over the gate. I do not believe it. This just tops off everything that's gone wrong with this walk. I've just looked. I've lost Angus. And there's no way I am walking back up there to look for him. Angus, you're going to have to find yourself a new hiking buddy. Well, I've been waiting and waiting at the pickup point. Nobody's responded to the satellite messenger. I've got no phone signal and I haven't heard from anybody. So I've waited and waited. I started thinking to myself, I can see me having to get the tent back out and just sleep here for the night. And I thought, hang on, I've only got one pole. There's nowhere to peg it out. So as sore as my feet are, I've just decided I might as well just get back on the road. I mean, what else can I do? What else can I do? Just waiting patiently for my evac now. Said there were 2 minutes around the corner. I can hear a noise coming here now, but surely it can't be the Tesla. It is. It's the Tesla. So that's the end of the trip. Hope you enjoyed the video. Sitting here in the Tesla, heading home.